Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Wake Up Call. How's everyone feeling out of 10?
I am going to abstain from that question, that answer.
Thou shalt not tempt me, devil. Get behind thee, Satan. 10 out of 10. Every day on the right side of the dirt is a 10 out of 10. There are more valuable things to life than just numbers and zeros. 2 out of 10, my portfolio. I got
Oh
10
man.
fifty. All right, we'll let you take it away, Alex.
Yeah.
What is the deal with the market? What's happening? Are we cooked to see you in 4 years?
The comments, man, the comments. I mean, we were anticipating this, right? It's like, oh, and I feel you guys. It definitely this sucks. What else can we say? This is the worst, and this market has not been kind to us. So okay, where do we go from here? Let me go to the weekly chart. I talked about I made a YouTube video on another platform that you definitely should not go to and watch for those who are on TikTok right before going live. Well, I made one earlier this week. I said that I am of the opinion that we are going to be okay, but how would you define okay? And so, what is okay right now? For me, okay is looking at every moment of peak fear in the crypto market since 2024, since the beginning of 2024, basically, which is what it's a move down to the 50-week moving average and a holding of that, but certainly moments where it feels like, oh no, this is the end. The reason why this is so much more intense than those moments is because of the fact that it's the fourth quarter of the post-halving year. And I know a lot of you, a lot of the bros are of this mindset that it has to happen in the fourth quarter or it's not going to happen at all because 2026 is supposed to be the bear market. And I would encourage you again for the 108th time to try to broaden your horizons a little bit, because if 2026 is supposed to be the bear market, like wasn't 2025 supposed to be the year that all of your dreams came true? And what's 2025 been? It's been, unless you're a Bitcoin maximalist, it's been a nightmare. And so I'm just going to say this again. It doesn't have to happen in 2025, in the fourth quarter of 2025. And it could still happen in the fourth quarter of 2025. At least I could see Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high in the fourth quarter of 2025. I could see Ethereum hitting a new all-time high. I think that this shakeout is going to take longer to play itself out, if I'm completely honest with you, than just the next 2.5 months. I mean, a lot of people are comparing this to the COVID crash. Okay, the altcoin market cap, it took 15 weeks for the altcoin market cap to break out, put in a new high after the COVID crash. So if it took 15 weeks this time, which I'm not saying it's going to take 15 weeks, but if it took 15 weeks, that puts us in February. All right. So what do we make of that? We make in my opinion, let's we broaden our horizons a little bit and get out of this mindset that it has to happen now. The stars aren't perfectly aligned for this to be some big explosive alt season in the fourth quarter of 2025. All right. And I've been saying that for a while. Now, 50-week moving average, 50-week simple moving average, 50-week EMA. That price is currently between $101 and $102,000. We're at $105.6 right now. Could we get there? I mean, even also the 50-week simple moving average could rise. The 50-week EMA will rise over the next few weeks. So it doesn't have to happen right now, but like that is, in my opinion, a compelling case to a compelling place to be buying the dip for Bitcoin. So there's that. Now, is there a reason to be? So I've given you a reason, in my opinion, to say that this is a normal place in this particular cycle, the way it's played itself out, where we're slowly climbing the stairs. Is there a compelling reason to just flat out be a bull right now? And there are reasons to be bearish. I mean, maybe it's going to take some time for the people who are married to this idea that it has to happen in the fourth quarter to just kind of cry and go away and then be sidelined, you know? But is there a compelling reason to be bullish right now? I believe that there is. And that is, again, same playbook. Let me share this different tab on another channel for those watching on TikTok that two people who look exactly like us are on right now. And that is when you look at gold. And Devin told me something about his gold holdings that I'm not going to spoil or share. I'll let Devin say that before we went live. But look at what happened with gold so gold, it doesn't look nearly as vertical as it does now, but gold went vertical in early 2024, and it peaked on the week of April 21st, 2024. Or sorry, 2025, excuse me, 2025. April 1st, 2025. Bitcoin bottomed out on April 7th of 2025 and then started climbing. Gold peaked and then chopped. And I am going to say this until it actually happens. If gold has not peaked, the peak of gold is very soon. The peak of silver, a local top that I think it's going to take about a year to break through for gold and for silver. That whatever comes next for gold, if it's a dip, and I'm very bullish on gold for this decade, but if it's a dip or just another chop, that gold is peaking soon. And when gold peaks, Bitcoin rallies. After gold, well, no, I mean, yeah, when gold peaks, Bitcoin rallies. This happens very often. I mean, I'm even looking at 2020. After gold peaked in August of 2020, Bitcoin rallied really hard. What are some other times? I mean, there's lots of examples from this that after gold peaks, Bitcoin rallies. So I'm not saying, I'm seeing some comments. What he's saying is just cope, LOL, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'm saying that there are reasons now to still be bullish. Now, what's my invalidation? If we see a weekly close below the 50-week moving average for Bitcoin, I am certainly going to reevaluate. And so, all right, we're less than 5% away from that 50-week moving average. All right, for right now, that's where I'm hanging my hat. But I'll turn it over to you, Devin.
All right. So I'll just start off with the gold. Yesterday, at the funny thing is, so it was like literally the candle when I announced it, but I didn't actually, sell it at that time because I have physical gold. So I had to go to a place. But I announced that I was selling 40% of my gold yesterday, pretty much like on the candle. And then there was like an immediate like big sell off with gold, and I was like, I rug gold, guys. Sorry. Um, so let's start there because I already have it up. So yesterday when I was live, I've never seen this across any chart across the entire time I've been doing charts, but on every single time frame, gold is overbought. From the monthly, it like during the live stream, it's probably not on the minute and the 5 minute now, but on the live stream yesterday, it was from the 1 minute all the way to the monthly. Every single time frame that I have up here, gold was overbought. It was insane. Like I could show you. So here's the 5 week. We could see overbought RSI. Here is the 2 week. We're 94 on the RSI. Here's the weekly. We are, if my chart will load, we are 89 on the weekly. On the 5 day, we are 89 as well. On the 3 day, we are 92. On the daily, we are 91 on the daily. On the 5 hour, we were yesterday when I said this, we were 91. We're still, hot. And then the rest of these are going to be, this was yesterday, 95 on the 3 hour, 92 on the 2 hour. Like it was insane. I've never seen this in my entire life of looking at charts. I've never seen one chart say the same story because like everything was going vertical. So like I'll look at the smaller time frame and I'll show you what I was like. This is what I was looking at when it was live. It looked like this. And I was like, what in the world? Like literally every single time frame is vertical right now. It was and overbought. I was like, what in the world is going on? So it was all the way to the 1 minute. Now, obviously, it's not now, and we've had like the beginning where we're starting to put in lower lows and stuff like this. Is the 5 minutes, so it means nothing, but you get the idea. So I went to the coin shop after the live stream, and I sold 40% of my gold. And the funny thing was, he wrote me a check, so I don't even have that money yet. It'll be here in 3 to 5 business days, and then I'll be able to buy the dip. But anyways, yeah, gold to me is overbought. It doesn't need to we're not going to crash to 3,300 or anything like that. The last time I sold my gold was around here, actually, was around 3,300. So we had went up to, if you remember, Alex, we had went vertical to the 3,300, and then we started to chop. That's pretty much what I anticipate for gold. It wasn't anything like crazy that we experienced. It wasn't some crazy big crash. It was just chopping. So I did the same thing. I sold 30% of my gold at 3,300, and then we chopped here for a little bit. That's basically what I anticipate. And by the way, this was April through August. So I don't even know what. So this was, when was the peak of gold's last local top? April of 21. What even was Bitcoin? I don't even know. April, not 21.
April 21st. Yeah, gold Bitcoin was in the 80s.
Literally. Okay, so there you go. So that's what I anticipate for Bitcoin. I'm not saying that this is the April crash. Tariffs through August was, August was Bitcoin got to 124. So from that time, there you go. I didn't even plan that. I didn't know that, but I knew that gold was red hot. So from April till August, Bitcoin was in the 80s, 78. And then till August, it got to 116. So there you go. I'm not predicting a crash for gold. I'm predicting a chop for gold. In all likelihood, gold will chop for a little while, and then it'll probably push to 4,700, just like it chopped for a little while at 3,300. Relatively 3,500, 3,000. It chopped in that range before breaking to the next leg higher. That's what I'm predicting for gold. I'm not predicting some major crash that we're going to 2,000 and pack it up, boys, and see you in 4 years for gold or anything like that. Gold doesn't move that way, but it is stealing the lunch money of risk on assets for sure. That's undeniable at this point. As far as I'll paint the bear case. So people were like, oh, he's coping, blah, blah, blah. I'll paint the bear case. What would make me bearish? Okay. For Bitcoin. What would make me bearish is if we get a dead cat bounce from Bitcoin. And let me just I'm going to look at this chart because I wasn't sure whether to count this or not, but it seems like we're just filling out this wick, to be honest with you. And we're on top of the 200 EMA right now. But what would make me bearish is if we get a dead cat bounce to 115, 119, and then we roll over and make a new low. That would flip me bearish. And I would be like, okay, there's something different at play here. That is my bear case. And then for the altcoins, what would make me bearish is if we get a clear rejection and then we put in a lower low for the Russell. But as of right now, it's still following this fractal that we talked about. And then the crazy thing is, so we didn't talk about this last week. We talked about this fractal. I'm going to show you how crazy this fractal is. Let me go. I think it was the daily, or let's do the 5 hour so you can really see the candle. Oh yeah, here you go. It's on the daily. We'll do the daily. So look at this. Look at this candle right here. So I just moved this over here, but this was on the same spot right here, this candle. So I'll zoom out so you can see it. This big liquidation on the Russell. It was literally. So look, you can see. This is literally the same, the big liquidation that happened on Friday literally happened to the same degree. Look at this candle. It's the same candle. It's insane. And then we put in a higher high and then back test the same thing. So this definitely is still the North Star especially for the altcoins is the Russell. And if we can hold this as a higher high and then go, or a higher low, excuse me, and then put in a higher high, that bodes well for the altcoins. And I just think it's more closer to, I will say too, with as far as vibes and sentiment, I've never seen people capitulate the way they were yesterday on my live stream. When
Yeah.
I was live from the time we went from 110 to 107, and it was like pure capitulation. Everyone was calling for 90K, 70K. We're in a bear market. Um, just all this stuff. Like it was maximum fear. And then I looked at the fear and greed. It was 35. And then when they updated, it was 22. And I was like, okay, well, that checks out for me. That's what I was seeing. So the Russell for altcoins are, my that is the North Star. I am still going to remain bullish on everything until this breaks structure. If this breaks structure, that would also make me a bear. If Bitcoin does a dead cat bounce and then goes to a lower low, that would make me a bear. But what's likely going to happen, in my opinion, and we said this on Friday, I think that the 28-day low is in. It just looks like we're just filling out this wick. Maybe we get we get a bit of accumulation. That's fine. But I anticipate the 200 to be held as support. We might wick below it like we are now. We might, do one of these numbers. Like all that's fine, just like we did over here in the April. Like we technically traded below it for a little while, but really this was held as support. So that would be more, along the lines of worst case. But if Bitcoin, bounces off of here and then puts in a new all-time high, then like the complete reverse sentiment of what we're feeling right now is what we're going to see.
Yeah.
Now I will say I'm going to play, I'm bullish on, I'm still bullish for altcoins as long as the Russell, as long as the Russell holds structure and gold does what I think that is going to do. I think
Yeah.
it's going to play things out how we need them to play out. I will be taking a cautionary position on Bitcoin specifically alone. And that is because my macro targets was 118,000. That was my targets. I said I was going to take action at those targets and I have not. So if we get a dead cat bounce to 115, 112, 113, I'm going to sell 35% of my Bitcoin alone. And then I will be in cash positions on Bitcoin alone. And that's because my average price on Bitcoin, that's for a couple of reasons. For one thing, that was my first macro target. For two, I said I was going to take action there and I have not. For three, my average price on Bitcoin is $111,000. So it's a point of mitigating risk. I'm not bearish, but I am going to, that is my bear case. If Bitcoin were to do this right here, this would flip me bearish. I don't think that that's going to happen, but I'm going to have cash just in case it does.
Let me show you something with the Russell real quick. Just a key level that was drawn to my attention the other day. So this is
Nash says, "Welcome to the bear market." Sorry.
of course, of course. And by the way, anyone on TikTok saying, "Show us your screen," we can't. They will ban our live stream. So there may be people on YouTube who look exactly like us.
Whatever you do, don't leave TikTok and don't go to
not.
YouTube and don't search up World War Bitcoin or at Yaboyskey. Do not do that if you want to see our screens.
So this is the Russell 2000 from the peak of before the great financial crisis to its bottom. And you can see, where is it? 4.236 retrace. Now, this does not, for me, I do not now look at this and say the Russell 2000 is peaking, because we had the same thing happen with the S&P 500, with the Dow Jones, with the NASDAQ. And there was just barely any resistance at the 4.236 for all of those. And then they broke through and just shot off like crazy. So I think that's what's going to happen with the Russell. And it's a sign of our dollar. It's a sign of the dollar.
Yeah.
It's a sign of, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to ask a question. So I saw BCB using the same fib. Where is he pulling that from?
The peak in 2007.
Okay, the
to the
peak in
bottom.
2000.
Yeah, to the bottom of the great financial crisis.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
Okay, so 80% of all the dollars has been printed since 2020. I don't even
yeah,
know what the number is since 2000 because that's when money printing started, right?
I mean, it's always been happening, but I mean, like, so
But like for
quantitative
real.
easing started in 2008.
Yeah. So to me, I would like to see. I don't even know if this is like my live thinking. Like, what is it priced in gold? What is it priced in
Oh
silver?
yeah, I have that. Let me pull that up real quick. I don't know if I have the Russell. Yeah, I don't have the Russell price in gold. I really need to get that, but I mean, I could show you anything priced in gold and it looks super bearish. So here's the Nasdaq.
Let me try
Nasdaq
to.
priced in gold. We peaked in 2021, and I mean, we're just in a flat out bear market. And the S&P 500 priced in gold is the same deal. The Dow Jones peaked in 2018 if you price it in gold, which is what we should be pricing things in, because I mean, think about the oh my goodness, the Great Depression. The US dollar was pegged to gold.
Right.
And so everything that you saw with the Great Depression, all those charts dumping the way they did, that was those charts valuation in gold. That's why we also measure things in gold and not in dollars.
Right. Uh Gold neither goes up nor goes down. It is a measure of value. So when you see gold rocketing, it's not because gold is going up in value. 1 ounce of gold equals 1 ounce of gold. What you're seeing the price of the dollar plummet, the value of the dollar plummet. That's what you're seeing. Um, dang it. Okay, so I was trying to find the Russell versus gold. I could not.
I'm sure I'd be able to pull up IWM, the ticker, the ETF.
IWM.
Yeah. Nope. Never mind. What is this? That looks like the gold chart. Oh yeah, that is the gold chart. Oh, I did IWM plus gold. Stupid. All right.
Yeah, it's I'm just really curious right now because like
Here we go.
that it yeah. So when you factor it in like that, to me it's like when you measure from the 4.236, I get that. It's like
Mhm.
Fibonacci's to me are everything, but it doesn't factor in like how much money like a dollar is literally not a dollar from 2007.
Yeah, exactly.
So like what is that? Like that looks that looks like the depths of the bear market.
Yeah, I'm trying to even measure this in fibs. I don't even know where to go. I mean, I guess you could say the bottom in 2011. I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, he's doing from 2007.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way to do it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, there is, but like when, I guess like one of these big red candles in 2007, you draw fibs from there, you'd see like we're in terrible shape for the Russell 2000 price in gold.
Yeah. I think it's a sign that gold's gonna roll over. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Not, I
Eh,
mean, not we're bull run, mega bull run priced in gold for the Russell, but like a dead cat bounce.
yeah, so, like, okay, do from the top of the peak over there in the middle
This
to
one?
the bottom. Yeah, yeah, right there,
All
and
right.
then see what is, like, the point 0.5, what is the 618, and when are
From
those dates as well?
sorry, 2018 to or to this to the bottom recently from 2025.
Yeah.
All right. So 618 would be 1/10. It's I don't know. It's a significant move higher. I don't know how to measure this.
Do the percentage,
Oh yeah, percentage. There we go. Okay. 1 second.
and then I will translate it to the actual percentage over here.
Oh gosh, I'm not doing it right.
Uh,
Yeah,
bull
price
market
range.
over.
Bull market over. There we go. Shouldn't that show us percent? Oh, I mean, it's not show. Oh yeah, yeah, it is showing the percent. I did do it right the first time. So 105% gain in the price of gold.
Okay. Now I'm okay. What I think is going to happen is I think gold is going to just chill out.
Yeah.
But so we'll just keep that stock, and then I'll give you a couple of scenarios. So that's 55. All right. So that's 55 let me do that one more time. 105 is
Are you doing it on your
5,000.
chart? Oh,
Yeah,
you're just typing stuff in.
5,000. Okay, yeah, I'll switch to my chart. We're figuring this out together, guys. This is real TA live here. Because this is a big factor that is not being considered when you do it like that. Okay, so I'm going to pull a fib from here, and then we'll see what is 5,000. Is there a realistic fib over here? I would say yes, like the 4236. So if you measure in gold and you get I'm not necessarily thinking that we're going to go there. Maybe gold does fall off, and maybe it's like more like 75% or something like that. But 105% move from here puts you at the 4236 from the 2021 top.
That would be insane.
So maybe it's 75, maybe it's 50, right? It's hard to measure like what is the actual dollar. So let's do 50. That's the 236. That'd be 36. 75 would be the 4236 or the 3618, excuse me, which would be 4400. To
Yeah.
me, I don't know that, I'm not coping here. I'm just factoring in that the dollar is not a dollar from
Yeah.
2007. It's literally not a dollar. Bitcoin
Yeah.
target 75K. Then short it, Nash. Short it all the way there.
Go for it,
Make
man.
make millions.
I mean, not that we're necessarily talking about this, but like, we don't think in terms of 4-year cycles with the stock market. And I mean, what I'm seeing is very little reason to think that we are at a peak. Now, you could all obviously say, oh, the economy, oh, unemployment, all this stuff, but like just looking at the charts. Looking at the
Um,
charts, there is nothing in the charts that communicates that we have peaked in the stock market.
yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna answer a question real quick
Okay.
from super fan Jamie Hill. Um, so Jamie, I do the trading challenges Monday through Thursday. Friday is a busy day for me, so probably won't be doing trading today. And then he's asking where can he see the charts? And if you're on TikTok, for the love of God, please stay on TikTok. And whatever you do, do not go to YouTube and do not search Yaboyskey, or do not search World War Bitcoin,
Don't
because
do that.
we are definitely not live there showing our charts. All right. And if you can't pick that up, then you don't deserve to see charts. So there you go. I think we are going to try to do our TikTok maybe the same way in the future, but as of right now, this is how we do it. All right, so go ahead, Alex. Sorry about that. Just want
I
to.
don't remember what I was talking about. I saw a comment. Dow Jones looks topped in the charts. Maybe, but I mean, the Dow Jones. I mean, you want to define it as a downtrend. I mean, I know I'm not looking at that chart right now on my screen, but like, or I'm not sharing that chart. But if you want to define that as a downtrend, it functions quite differently. I mean, there's plenty of times where the Dow Jones Industrial Average puts in bearish structure and then just ends up climbing more.
This isn't even bearish structure to me. I mean, the 200 on the daily is on top of the 100 on top of,
Yeah,
like, these are far apart. In
yeah,
order for you to get bearish structure, you need them to be like coiled up like here to even have a chance. And realistically, you want the 200 while it's coiled up like this, you want it to be like kind of sloping down, and that would start to pull it down. This is not bearish structure. Um, I mean, this is just a back test of the 50, and you could
yeah.
say a back test of the prior range. Yeah, you would need like a lower low, you would need a lower high for a bearish structure. I mean, we're hot on the Fibonacci's. You could say we're in between the 1618 and the 2618. But even if it goes bearish on the Dow Jones, guess what? That's a good thing. That's a good thing. You know why? Because the Dow Jones isn't just going to it's not going to rug like an altcoin. It's going to go into distribution. If you want to make the argument that this is the buying climax, okay, fine. That would mean that we're going to get something like this, maybe an upthrust. And then you know what's going to happen during all of this big middle finger right here. That's when that's when the Russell, it'll be distributing into the Russell. It'll be distributing into risk on assets. Like Bitcoin and the altcoins, or altcoin versus Bitcoin, has the same playbook. Like they stole the playbook. The playbook was not invented by crypto. It was invented by the stock market. You go from your blue chip stocks into your mid caps, into your low caps. Like that's a thing in the stock market. That's not a new concept from crypto.
Yeah.
It says, I'm already in the short. All right. Well, then write it to 75K, bro. I'm rooting for you. I hope you make millions. I'm rooting for you. I hope that I hope you're right.
I do not share Devin's sentiment. I hope you get liquidated. And if you do get liquidated, I'm sure there's other things that you'll probably end up having won anyway. So
yeah. Right. All right, let's read some of these comments here. It won't break 98K. I don't think so. Not right now. I think that we're going to get a bounce off the 200. Like every time that Bitcoin has reached the 200 daily EMA over the past 3 years, we have bounced off of it. Like every single time. That's a big level of support. And not only is the 200 support, okay, so I gave you my bear case. Now I'm going to give you my bull case, because I didn't do that earlier because I got distracted because I have ADHD. Okay, so not only is this on top of the 200 here, the hips don't lie, Shakira. Okay, count the body, not the wick. Count the body. The hips don't lie, Shakira. Not only is this on top of the 200, but it's also the back test of the prior range over here.
wait a second. The 200 EMA, I'm seeing it that we're below the 200 EMA. What are you looking at?
On the wick, sure.
Oh, on the wick. Are you on a weekly chart? No, you're on a daily.
I'm on the daily.
Okay.
What are you on?
Yeah, no, I'm on the daily. I see what you're saying now. This might be a wick.
I don't count this for in crypto. Like that to me is a juke. That's a Barry Sanders fake out. That's a Allen Iverson crossover.
All right.
Potential. When I count it as we have crossed is like here. This would be the first candle that we're below the 50, right? When you see this candle, that's below the 50.
Yeah.
Because how many times have we seen this? Even like April. So I'll just go back. Like how many times do we see it? Like April went fully below it, but everything was still touching it before, going back above. Like you have to give it some time to breathe. Same thing back in August. Like we were fully below, but it was, fighting with it the entire time. Same thing back when the war in Israel, we were fully below, but same thing, kind of like flirting with it. So I have to like really give it some breathing room. Especially looking at moving averages, which is, kind of an arbitrary thing. So a lot of people I see, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just telling you how I view it. When I see like, I never count this as like, we've lost the 200. I never do that. For me, like losing the 200 or losing any support is if we get a candle like this.
Yeah. So you are looking at it on the Heikin-Ashi candles. That's why it looks different than my chart. On normal candles, it does look a fair amount worse, but I mean, I'm still with you on that. It's like, but like also my mindset is similar to April of this year.
Even this, I would still, I like to see a full body close below it to be like, okay, we lost it. But yeah, I do look at the Heikin-Ashi candles. What is this? There you go. Okay, I see. So there you go. That's what I've always looked at Heikai Nashi.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I learned on, and I practice what I preach. In that, you should not pay attention to what other people tell you shouldn't do or shouldn't do. You should find your own method and sharpen that, because it's better to practice one kick 10,000 times than it is to get shiny object syndrome and practice 10,000 different kicks.
Yes.
So basically, we're getting effed. Who's we?
And
We
how do
you?
you take that from what we're saying to I just, I mean, I think there are some differences of opinion between like what Devin and I are, like the way our minds are working right now, especially like just my big thing is the 50 week. I think we're going down and bouncing off the 50 week, and we'll spend some time below the 200-day EMA. But like, so what? We're talking about
Is that 97?
no, the 50 week, no, it should be higher. The 50 week SMA is at between 101 and 102. Now we could certainly wick below that. That's what we did in May. We wicked below pretty hard, but that ended up just being a short period of time. So,
We need a Kemosabe candle.
but the other thing that I'm just going to say is like, my any bearishness that I present is with a mindset of like, again, the people who are married to this idea that it has to happen in the fourth quarter, just kind of like abandoning hope and leaving, and then getting sidelined. So what's that going to look like? How does that play itself out is kind of the thing that I'm wondering in my head, as they capitulate, if they haven't already. Maybe they have already. So
yeah, and the thing is too is like, again, I've said this once and I'll say it again, and I'll say it every time. Bull markets do not end with the fear and greed being at 22. So take with that information what you will. But I have never seen a bull market on any asset end with the fear and greed being at 22. Have you?
I mean, I'm trying to process what you're saying, because like,
this is 28 according to CMC, and then alternative.me has it at 22. CoinGlass has it at 23.
so what would you say though? Yeah, but the bull market, like just a typical retail response, the bull market ended on October 6th when we peaked at 126. And what was the fear and greed at that point?
October 6th?
That was the day of the most recent peak.
It was at 60. Yeah. So again, I would, yeah, it was at 50. When was this? October? No, this is July. 55, 59.
Yeah, I'm just trying to process people's objections to that. Yeah, there's somebody who commented, what about the 6th LOL? So
There you go. He was just reading a comment. He wasn't even. Yeah. Where did my? Here we go. So there you go. That's yeah, I'll show that. I thought I was showing it. I wasn't showing it. So I want to show what I'm saying here. The October 5th, Bitcoin was at 59.
59. Okay.
According to CMC. Let me see alternative.me. Alternative or let's see what they have it at October 6th, because theirs is lower right now. October 6th, they had it at 71, and now it's at 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gold is overbought. Yes, we talked about that. It is extremely overbought.
I've never seen any asset be overbought on every single time frame ever in my life. Yesterday, when I was live, gold from the 1 minute chart through the 1 month chart was overbought. I've never
Yeah.
seen that from any asset ever.
For Bitcoin, that liquidation wick needs to hold. Which one? The Coinbase wick went down to 108. Another one I think went down to 105, and I saw a third one go down to 100. That's the messed up part. Because anytime there's a big liquidation, I always have it in my mind that like we have to sweep the lows.
Yeah.
We're usually going to sweep the lows of that wick, but like which wick?
Right.
You
That's
know,
right. They
I,
were all different. That's right.
yeah,
Nash says trade the trend. Don't trade the month of October. What trend has broken? Not the Dow Jones, not Bitcoin. This is still an uptrend from all the way back to 2023. Like, what trend have we broken?
yeah.
What trend are you trading?
Lots of
Are you
individual altcoin charts.
yeah, sure. If you're shorting alts, sure, you could say that. But if you're shorting Bitcoin, like, what trend are you talking about? On the 1 minute?
Yeah.
Because trend has not broken. I really think gold will continue up. Sure. Like, I still own probably like what? I still own 30% of my gold. That's fine.
Yeah. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. People are okay. I'll tell you this. I'm seeing more people buying gold now
Yeah.
that I did not know bought gold.
All right, let me read BZ's comment so you can stop spamming it. Greed is usually at 97.3 at top of market. I can't verify that, but okay.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Crayon Dave, this is my mindset. Let me read his comment here. I don't understand the logic of people turning bearish as monetary policy is moving more favorable to risk on assets. People just don't think logically with at least a medium term time horizon. That's exactly what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a season like this entire 2025. The reason why it sucked so much was because monetary policy was not as favorable to risk on assets as it was in 2017 or 2021, but it is turning much more favorable right now. I mean, we just had Jerome Powell speak earlier this week talking about the end of quantitative tightening, that it's coming soon. Maybe at the next Fed meeting at the end of this month. That does not mean that now there's quantitative easing. That's going to be still several months away. But what has happened historically is that altcoins, during periods where there's no quantitative tightening or quantitative easing, they have stopped bleeding against Bitcoin. And so there's potential here. If you think Bitcoin is going to go higher and quantitative easing is coming to an end, quantitative tightening is coming to an end, then you should be bullish on altcoins as well. Cuts are bearish for the months after. Once QE is here, then it's up only. We started cutting last year, and we were bearish for a little after, and then we shot off pretty hard. And so yeah, I mean, maybe the first quarter is not going to be amazing either. I don't know, but like I would see on a little bit longer of a timeline that man, there's this fruit fly in here driving me crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna be done.
It's the fly episode.
The fly episode, yeah. My least favorite Breaking Bad episode. Go ahead.
A necessary evil. Yeah, so here's the deal. Okay, you want here's I give you charts on bull case, bear case for Bitcoin. Alts, I feel the only bear case is the Russell, a clear rejection and a clear reversal, which we don't have right now. The bull case is it continues what it's already doing, and it continues to follow the fractal. So here's some fundamental things. The government is still shut down. No, is that true, or did I miss something?
It is shut down.
The government.
Sorry, if you weren't looking at me, were you? Because I made a face to a comment.
No.
Okay.
I was just I didn't know. Government is still shut down. More rate cuts are coming. It's expected that there's going to be 3 rate cuts in 2026.
Probably more than that. But that's the
Um,
expectation.
19 Solana pending ETF approvals, which cannot get passed until the government reopens. Quantitative easing is going to turn on. So, yeah, there's lots of things to say like no. I cannot wait through 2026. Then you shouldn't be in crypto.
Sorry, I made a face at a comment. Macro has nothing to do with this. I could not disagree more. That's insane.
Too many people follow the herd and don't think for themselves. It is why so many people lose. I agree. And listen, right, wrong, or indifferent. The reason that I don't watch other people, I don't want to be influenced. I want to have my own thoughts. I want to have my own opinions. I want to think critically through everything. And I'm willing to, I've been wrong before, but I'm willing to live and die by that sword because it has served me very well.
Yeah. I mean, I've been begging so many people to break free from the herd. I mean, again, just like Devin, and I would not say I've been perfect either. But like one thing that I'm not going to do that I haven't been doing for quite a while is following the herd. The herd told you to not sell anything at the end of 2024 because 2025 was going to be this mega bull run. I sold a lot of my bag at the end of 2024. Devin sold how much of your XRP and bought land with it?
40%.
40%. So
I just listen, everyone is bullish on gold right now. I just sold 40% of my gold too.
there we go.
It'll be in my account in 3 to 5 business days. Because guess what? Gold is not as liquid as crypto. Yeah. And everyone, like when I posted that on Instagram, I had like 5 messages. But why? 5 people like responded to my story of me selling my gold, but why? And I'm seeing a lot of people buying gold, buying silver.
Yeah.
Guess what? I've been buying gold and silver for a decade. My
Yeah.
average price on gold is like $1,500.
My average price, I bought a ton of silver in 2011. My average price on silver is between $40 and $50 from 2011. that was my lesson.
You're back in the green. You did it.
Oh man, that was, yeah. I talk about that sometimes. That was my baptism into buying Euphoria. That was my lesson that I learned.
You hodled through. You made it.
Yeah, I held this entire time. I never sold any of it because I mean my reasons for believing in silver are just as valid now as they were when I bought Euphoria in 2011.
100%.
Yeah, I'm a huge believer in silver and gold.
I'm a huge believer in silver and gold too. It doesn't mean it doesn't get overbought.
That's right.
It doesn't mean you should de-risk your positions when you get into profit. Like I am sitting on more than a double on gold. I tell people to take profit on a double on crypto. Why would I not take profit on gold, which doesn't double all the time?
I don't know, Boomlet. There's no way what you're saying is true. I can show messages. I asked Alex if I should sell my LCX. He said no. I sold the next day and watched it crash 39.28. You're gonna have to. How about you send me a message and show me the messages?
Or here's an idea: just take responsibility for your own portfolio, and
or that.
Be a big boy or a big girl and take responsibility for your own actions. Be the pilot of the plane, not the passenger.
When was LCX at 39 cents? It was in December of 2024, which I have the receipts of saying that on being on record that I sold 40% of my crypto in December of 2024. So
Alex, I was live with Alex. Alex was definitely bearish in 2024. I was bullish actually, but I still took profit because it reached my goals or it reached my targets for XRP. I was more bullish in November of 2024, part of that the reason was because Solnick was ripping so much, and it kind of skewed my whole view on the market.
Yeah.
But I still took profit because it still reached my targets because I still had a plan of action and I still followed my plan. But Alex was more bearish in December for sure.
That's where it doesn't line up. I mean, I turned bearish in December. Like, why would I tell you to just hold? But yeah, go ahead, man. Send me the message. Calm down. Yeah. I need to calm down. Okay. I guess I'll get more calm than I'm speaking
Yeah,
right now.
you need to calm down, Alex.
Yeah.
You're way too intense right now.
Yeah.
uh
I wish I sold more.
yeah. Hey, I wish I was sold more of XRP, but 40%, it did enough
Yeah.
to accomplish my goals.
Yep.
You never go broke taking a profit, as they say. And listen, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin, but I'm going to take a defensive position because I did not follow my plan. My plan was to sell 35% of my Bitcoin at 118, and I didn't. So
Yeah.
once we get a dead cat bounce, I'm going to sell that 35% of my Bitcoin, and I still think we'll probably go to 130. We'll probably go to 207. We might rip into 2029. That's fine, but I'm going to follow my plan.
Yeah. This is
Where's
the calmest I've ever seen, Alex. Sorry.
Yeah, Alex, you're way too hype right now.
Yeah.
Need you to tone it
I'm
down.
losing I'm losing my mind.
It's on full tilt right now.
Oh man. Hey, somebody said they've never seen me smile. I just smiled, so there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Alex has that dry sense of humor that like just cracks me up sometimes.
yep, there's a backstory to that, but we don't need to get into that.
Don't listen to the crown. It's always something, but I believe with Trump administration waiting crypto, it will go. Listen, I'm not I never, not one time has been my thesis because of Trump. Never. So it never started in that position. I'm not I'm the pilot of my own plane. So I'm not gonna be like, well, Trump did this, or Trump made me rich, or Trump made me poor. Nope. I am
Yeah.
the pilot of my own plane. And
I think on a long time frame, there was somebody who got really upset with me because apparently you and I, Devin, both laughed at that person when they screamed out manipulation. And I never remember this stuff. I mean, there's so many people to interact with. And I think we give but what I told that person when they were getting upset with me during my live stream was like, we think we place too much credit on manipulation. Um, that I mean, this is a saying as old as markets. The trend is inviolate. They can manipulate for sure, but they can't change the trend. They can't change where we're going. If we're going, yeah. So, oh hey, there he is, Water Tiger. We're on this now because the subject came up. You were pretty upset, so let's move on.
well, for me, that's why I like Wyckoff. So if I was laughing, it's because that is my whole thesis, that the market is ran by the apex predators. That's the lens that I view the market. So if I'm laughing, it's like I agree. If I so yeah, the mark that's why I like Wyckoff. That is why Wyckoff
Yeah,
is my bread and butter, because that is the entire lens. That's the entire filter. And I'll give you an example. I'm gonna read you the conclusion, and then I'll give you an example. But the reason I like Wyckoff is because the conclusion was it was centered around the realization that stock price trends were driven primarily by institutional and other large operators who manipulate stock prices in their favor. The game was rigged from the start, Jimbo. That is the entire lens that I operate through, is that it's not because of news. I have a whole chart, trade the news and you will lose. It's because the apex predator is trying to steal money. And you have to think like, what is the most painful route possible? That's the route we're going to go. And here's my example. When I say like that is the filter, that is the lens that I operate through, that it's not ran because of like what Trump did, or it's because the apex predator is trying to make as much money as possible and squeeze as many people as possible. So when I say the filter, right now I have a filter on my camera. Okay, it's a LUT. Okay, which is a lookup table color thing. So this is Sony's LUT, right? Well, you're seeing me through the filter of the LUT. If I turn off the LUT, this is what it looks like. It's a whole different picture. So the picture and the the filter that I am looking at the market through is through the lens that it is ran by apex predators. And so when I see, oh, this news article came out, that does not faze me, because who wrote the article? Who hired the journalist?
Yeah.
Do you have information that they don't have, that they haven't had for 6 months? Do you think that this journalist that they hired has any information that they have not given them 6 months in advance? Are we bearish on Bitcoin? No. I am not. Veins are popping out of his head.
I'm on CZ's payroll, somebody says. Hey, CZ wants to send me some money. I mean, I hope he doesn't watch the video that I said get your funds off of Binance, but
yeah,
you know,
he's paying you to FUD Binance.
he's paying me. Yeah.
No, like, okay, so people ask me my thoughts on that. They're like, I saw you repost it. Elaborate. I'm like, okay, first of all, I repost all of Alex videos.
Yeah.
I'm
And I
not
do
going to
the same
speak.
with Devon's.
I'm not going to speak for Alex. You can ask Alex. Second of all, what do we know, Alex? What marks every bear market?
What, just exchanges collapsing?
Every single bear market,
Yeah.
yes, every single bear market, there is an exchange that goes to zero every single time. And I saw people saying Binance is too big to fail. I thought the same about FTX. I
Yeah.
thought the same about BlockFi. I thought the same about Vanguard, or not Vanguard. Yeah, imagine Vanguard going to zero.
But Celsius or
Celsius, Voyager.
yeah.
What was the one? What was the one in 2017? Mount Gox, right?
I thought that was 2013.
2013, yeah. So yeah, no, every single time.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind.
So yeah, like listen, the whole ethos of crypto is decentralized finance, to be your own bank. Do not give that power back to them. We get so fixated on money go up technology that we forget the entire point. The entire point is freedom, sovereignty, to be your own bank. That is the ethos of crypto. I make the reference all the time. Exchanges are like public restrooms. You get in, you do your business, and you get out. Okay.
Yeah.
You should not be sitting on a public restroom with graffiti all over the wall, bare cheeks, scrolling through TikTok. That's
So
for.
yeah, the reason why I made that video is there's a precedent for the FBI coming in and seizing a domain. So I mean, at least that could happen with Binance.us or something. I don't use Binance. I've never used it, so I don't know. But like that has happened before, and then funds have been frozen on those accounts. So like you know, I'm not saying that's absolutely going to happen, but there's a risk.
There's a risk with every exchange, and you should
Yeah.
know that risk.
Yeah.
There is
So,
no, if you do not own the crypto, it's not yours. And then you are sacrificing a big risk for a small amount of convenience. And it's, guess what? You can buy, you can sell, you can lend, you can stake, you can borrow, you can liquidity mine, you can do all these things on the blockchain, which does not require a centralized party, which is the entire point of crypto.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm not saying don't use exchanges because I use exchanges, but if you're storing your entire net worth onto one exchange, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yep. Well, it's about time, Devin. You have your hard stop, right?
Hard stop. All right. Any closing thoughts, Alex?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something other than like we'll never message you and stuff like that. So
Alex's closing thoughts is he does not know.
yeah.
And he's his veins are popping out of his head because he's so on tilt right now.
I am.
All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this time. We will never message you. Those are scammers. For the love of God, do not get scammed. If you need help setting up a personalized exit strategy, are you still doing that?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Need help setting up an entry strategy and exit strategy? You can hit up one of us in the DMs, but we will still never message you. All right.
Oh my goodness. Shut up, Boomlet.
He can't bitch as much as Ski. Well, nobody can. I'm the strongest crypto influencer in the game, so that's okay. All right. Anyways, that wasn't a dig. But that's gonna be it for this time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. We will never message you. Peace, love, prosperity. God first.